Thank you everyone for joining me today. I'm Gina, the founder of the Courageous Warrior Coalition. And in this 3-week series, we're going to break down several of the yoga poses and then run through them with a short practice. So if you have any questions and are watching this on a recorded version, you can always email courageouswarriorcoalition@gmail.com and ask any specific questions you have if you weren't unable to attend the live session. So the practice that primarily I teach is Baptiste Power Yoga, and I've been a teacher for about 3 years, 2 years, almost 3 years. I graduated the teacher training. About 2.5 I've been a teacher, and yeah, so I started the Courageous Warrior Coalition to bring yoga to first responders about 3 months ago, and we'll be offering more of these types of classes throughout the year, and all of our classes are stored on our YouTube channel, so just search for us there, and we're on social media as well. Our webpage, which will link you to all of those things, is courageouswarriorcoalition.org. So let's start today with the, we're going to work on 4 parts of the Journey into Power Baptiste Yoga sequence: integration, awakening, vitality, and equanimity. So the first part of the practice is integration, because everyone's sort of seen me. Let me adjust. So integration is really just integrating the body into the practice. It's getting you ready for the rest of the sequence. So the first pose is child's pose, and this is a pose that you can take at any time during the practice. If you feel like you need to get back to your breath, you feel like you need to take a moment, settle yourself in, or if there's a pose that's causing you pain. So we don't really say discomfort, because the goal of this practice is to give you a little bit of the feeling of comforting yourself. But if you're in pain, obviously you stop at any time you're in pain. And if you need to consult a doctor and just end the practice, that's always something that's an option. But if you just need to take a moment because something is nagging at you, then you can always come into child's pose. And child's pose is there's a very strong intention with child's pose. It's to sort of ground you and integrate your body into the practice. So knees as wide as you can get them. Usually, if you can try to maybe aim for both sides of your mat. Hands wide as well. Spread your fingers wide. Press into your hands. Press your head down onto the mat, and the tops of your feet down into the mat. And then just allow your hips to fall back towards your ankles and relax. And here's where you would put in your drishti, your gaze. One thing down on your mat, eyes open. And ujjayi breath. So ujjayi breath is inhale through your nose, almost bringing the breath through the back of your throat, and then exhaling through your nose, making an audible sound, almost like an ocean sound. And then from here, you're going to press your hands down into your mat and go into downward facing dog. So flip your toes under you. So flex your toes, press your hands into the mat, downward facing dog. Bend your knees as much as you need to send your hips and your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Now, a lot of people have heard, who are newer to the practice, and you guys can come out in between if you want, unless you want to hold the pose, that's totally up to you. Say that a lot of people newer to the practice say they have a lot of wrist pain or soreness from doing downward facing dog, and that just comes into with hand and arm integration. So you really want to press down into the triad of your hand, which is your thumb, your pointer finger, and your middle finger. That space that sort of makes a triangle out of those 3. You're into your knuckles. You really want to press into that. That will allow the weight to come out of your wrists. But you want your fingers to be pressed down firm enough that I could come by and pick up each individual finger off the mat, or that I couldn't come and bring each finger off the mat. You want your fingers to be pressed down firmly into the mat. That is different than doing the death grip. So that's kind of a practice. I mean, the whole practice is a practice. We call it that for a reason. But there is a balance to find between the effort and the ease. So that's sort of up to you to figure out for yourself in your practice. So downward facing dog. And then step your feet forward to your hands for Ragdoll. In Ragdoll, your feet are about hips width apart. You can grab opposite elbows, or you can just allow your arms to hang naturally. Soften your neck. And bend your knees as much as you need to. And you can sway a little bit here. Whatever feels good. And then from here, we're going to bring our feet together. And we're going to press into our big toe mound, which is the fleshy part of right below your big toe. You're going to press into your big toe mounds to stand up, extended mountain. And that's just bringing your arms up, looking up, pressing down into your feet. And then bringing your hands to prayer center. And this is where we would do our 3 ohms, which we'll do when we do our brief practice. And that is a way to build community, to calm your breath into an even audible sound, and to prepare you for the rest of your practice. We also close the practice with 3 ohms. So that is the basis of integration. And from integration, we go into awakening, which is your sun salutations. There's sun A's and sun B's. So we'll do an example of one of each, and then we'll go through a little more throughout the practice. So sun A starts with extended mountain pose. So pressing into your feet, rising up, looking up. You breathe in, and then you exhale, fold forward. Breathe in, halfway lift. Here you want to flat back, so hands go to your shins. Look slightly out in front of you. Your drishti, your gaze goes slightly out in front of you. And you're pressing your shoulders up towards the ceiling. Flat back. And then exhale, forward fold. Do it again. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. And that's high to low plank. So chaturanga, unlike a push-up where, especially like a military push-up where your elbows go out to the sides, you really want to aim for elbows to go straight back. Let me make sure you can still see me here. So from high plank to low plank. And if you're not sure how far to go down, if you have a block or something around the size, a book or something you can put under your nose, you want to aim to bring your nose just to the top of that block or that item. Upward facing dog, flip your feet, the tops of your feet are touching the mat, shoulders straight back, thoracic spine forward, look forward or slightly up. Downward facing dog. And that is a full sun salutation A. Now, we would normally do 5 of these in the practice. But if you just need to like stretch out and just wake your body up during the day, you can just do a few of these just to kind of get you going. The next one is sun salutation B. So start on this side. That starts with thunderbolt. We call it in Baptiste yoga. If you're practicing other types of yoga, you might know it as chair pose. The Sanskrit word is Utkatasana. It's all the same thing. Call it whatever you want. But thunderbolt, you're going to bring your big toe mounds to touch, and then a slight space between your heels, and then sit low like you're gonna sit in a chair. And depending how tight your hips are, like I have really tight hips, it will sort of determine how low you can go. But just start out where you can, and then with each breath, sink a little lower. And your arms can be cactus arms, so palms straight forward, or you can reach your hands out in front of you. That's thunderbolt. And then we would just go through the rest of the sun salutation like we did in A with some slight variation. So thunderbolt, forward fold, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, chaturanga, inhale, upward facing dog, exhale, downward facing dog, right side, warrior one. So you bring your right foot to your right hand. Your left foot goes at a 45-degree angle. And the aim is to get your knee over your ankle as much as you can, almost so much that you could put a block on it or something like that without it falling off. And then your arms go up. So that's warrior one. And then from here you would go into chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog, left side, warrior one. So left foot to left hand. Reach up to look up. Use your drishti here to get you up. You can look straight ahead or you can go back. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Okay, and then we do 5 of those. So your 5 sun A's, your 5 sun B's, and then these next few poses make your awakening series. Next pose after your sun B, everyone ends up in downward facing dog. And then raise the right leg. I'm going to press the heels straight back behind you. You can soften your left knee a little bit, soften the joints. And then you have 2 options. And this could just be based on level of yoga practice, or it could be based on what you need that day. The first option is to bring your knee towards your nose and then open up. So this is a hip opener. And you can stay right here. Or you can flip your dog and just bring your right foot down to the floor and your right arm up. So your feet are pointed at 12 o'clock. Your right hand is raised towards the sky. Spread your fingers wide. And then you can reach back. An advanced pose from here would be to go to real pose from here. We'll talk about that a little later in the series. And then make sure you really soften your left elbow. Soften that joint, and that will allow you to go back further. And then from here, you're going to flip back over to high plank, and then go into side plank, right side. So right arm is down, left arm is up. And bring the front of the, lift the front of the pelvis up towards the belly button, and the hips up towards the ceiling. And from here, you can express out by maybe lifting a leg, or you can just stay here. And the variation of this pose is to drop your right knee, also called gate pose. Drop your right knee, left foot still on the mat, and then you can express out from here. And that is side plank. And what we would do is basically the same thing on the other side. I'll take you through it right now. Raise your left leg, open up, stay here, or flip. Flip dog, and then high plank, side plank left side, variation. A regular side plank. And then we would go through Chaturanga, up dog, downward facing dog. Then the next part of the sequence is vitality. And that starts with crescent lunge. So from down dog, right foot forward, crescent lunge. So right foot to right hand. And then once again, you want to get your knee over your ankle, your right knee over your right ankle. You can always check yourself with a block or a book or something. And here you're going to press down into, it all starts with the feet, grounding. Press down into all four corners of your feet, spread your toes wide. And then the sukha, the ease should be in your front knee, and the effort, the stira should be in your back leg. So press the back leg, the back hamstring towards the back of the room. Soften your front knee so you can bring it over your front ankle more. And then do a little bit of a check. This is interesting. Now, like in his yoga studio, we used to do assists. Now with everything going more over Zoom and other online platforms, you can assist yourself. So check in with your hips, see if you should be both facing forward, facing 12 o'clock. You do an adjustment there, and then reach up, crescent lunge. Revolving crescent lunge, bring your hands to heart center. Twist to the right. And then from here, it's up to you how you express. It's your practice. So you can stay here. You can take a half bind, a full bind. Put your hand down on a block or on the mat and bring your left hand down, your right arm up. And then from here, warrior two. So don't move the front knee. You've done all the work to get that front knee over the front ankle. Just gonna move your left foot into a 45-degree angle. Bring your arms up, warrior two. Set your gaze over your middle finger of your right hand. And then bring your shoulders up to your ears and straight back to open your chest. And then from here, extended side angle. And you can bring your right hand over onto your right elbow, onto your right knee. Or you can take a block or some other, or maybe you don't even need a block. But if you need to reach the ground, some sort of support here. On the outside of your foot, just your fingertips touching that item. And this allows you to sort of open up here, which is why we really recommend the outside of the foot, so you can open up your chest. And then from here, we go into Chaturanga, up dog, downward facing dog. And we'll do it on the other side, left side crescent lunge. Hands to heart center. Twist to your left this time. Warrior two. Extended side angle. And you can see how this starts to create flow, which is one of vinyasa, which is one of the pillars of Baptiste yoga, is to create flow in vinyasa. So that is that part of vitality. We do that on like we just did on both sides. And then back into down dog is where we end up. And then bring your feet to your hands, and that could be through a walk, a skip, a hop, a jump, whatever you want to do. Bring your feet to your hands. Once again, halfway lift. Fold over. And then we go back into thunderbolt or chair pose. And here, if you're feeling some tension or pain in your low back, really come into your heels. Take the weight into your heels and bring the front of the pelvis up towards the belly button. So imagine there's a bowl surrounding your pelvis. If you push your pelvis forward, the water's gonna spill out the front. If you push your pelvis back, the water's gonna spill out the back. You want a neutral pelvis so that you can hold all of the water in the bowl. So here we are in Thunderbolt, hands to heart center. And twist to the right. And once again, here is your option to open up, go bind, and then come back to center. And twist to the left. Same thing. Whatever variation you want to take. Bring your chest up. Sit in your heels. Bring the booty down. And then we would go into, we're going to go into forward folds, fingers to toes forward folds. I'll stand forward for this one. Peace fingers, you get the peace sign with. Grab on, hook them onto your big toe. Both big toes. And then bend your knees to bring your chest towards your thighs. You want to bring a little weight forward. And then from here, you can go right into palms to toes forward fold, or some may know it as gorilla pose. Slide your hands under your feet. So you bring your toes as close to your wrist creases as possible. Bend your elbows, bend your knees, and then bend forward. If you could straighten your legs from here, go ahead. That's just going to be a matter of flexibility. Maybe keep practicing that if you can't quite get your legs straight. Send your tailbone up. And then from here, go into crow pose or crow prep. So it took me probably about 3 years of practicing before I could hold a crow pose for more than 2 seconds. So yeah, it's a practice, and you can just do crow prep if that's where you are in your yoga journey. So crow prep would be pressing your hands down to the mat and bringing your legs forward. You want to bring your knees on the back of your arms and then lift your feet up. And you do this by hugging in, squeezing in skin to muscle to bone, and really using your core muscles to hold you up. And then look slightly forward. And then from here, you're going to release your feet and jump back into Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And that concludes the vitality part of the sequence. The last part of the sequence that we're going to go over today in today's class is equanimity. And the intention of each of the portions of the sequence is exactly what the sequence is named. So vitality, that last part, was to feel alive, to turn your body on, wake it up, from the awakening part that was the previous intention, and moving into really turning your body on and making it feel alive. Equanimity is all about balance, effort, and ease. And it is the balancing part of the sequence. It's also a part where a lot of people may get easily frustrated if they fall out of the pose, and that is part of the intention of the sequence. If you fall out, you just get back in. Effort and ease, not too much stira, not too much sukha, a balanced action. So the first pose in equanimity is eagle, and I'll do it from both sides. So we'll do eagle right side, press into your left foot, soften your left knee, bring your right leg, hook it around your left leg. Then you're going to sit down like you're in chair pose. And then from here on the right side, the right arm, so right leg over, right arm under. And then you can, depending on how tight your shoulders are, have your palms touch. And then bring your weight into your heel. sit back like you would sit in chair pose, and your arms, your elbows up towards your chest. And really use your drishti gaze here to help you steady yourself. What I love, a practice I did a few weeks ago, where during equanimity, the teacher actually told us to look everywhere around us. Like, don't focus on one spot, which is completely opposite of what we normally tell students. And it's amazing how much just looking at one spot directly in front of you can really help you. When you're looking all over, that's where your body will go. Where your body goes where the energy flows. So if you're looking all over, that's where you're gonna go, and that's where you're gonna fall out. And then we'll do eagle left side. I'll do it on this version here, on this view. Cool. So left leg over right leg, left arm under right arm, or a variation for arms if you have tight shoulders is just to grab opposite shoulders and flex both feet. So even the standing, the hanging foot, the left foot should be flexed and you're pressing into the heels of that foot. Lifting your toes on both feet and sitting back. That is eagle pose. Next pose, standing leg raise. Start on the right. So grab your right big toe, which this one's a little tough for me, or your right knee with your right hand. Left hand goes to the left side. Your gaze goes onto your left thumb. And then you open up that right knee, the right leg. And soften your left knee. And then from here, come back to center. And then go into airplane pose. Press the right foot back. Try to even out the hips. And press the hands down. And you're going to press your shoulder blades, the shoulders up to your ears, and then your shoulder blades straight up towards the ceiling. And then from here, half moon pose. Really have a generous bend in your left knee. Drop your left hand to a block, to the floor. The goal is to actually not touch the floor. The goal is to be able to do this pose without touching the floor. Have your hand a few inches off the floor. I'm not quite there yet, so I'll use a block. Or I can use the floor. Just be intentional in just pressing your fingertips onto the floor or to the block. Left hand down. That is half moon. We'll do the same thing on the other side. I'll just do it from this angle for you. Standing leg raise, left side. Open up to the left. Look to the right. Back to center. Airplane pose. And then half moon. And if you fall out like I just did, just get back into it. Press the hand down. Touch your knees up. And one side may be different than the other. So just kind of play around with that. Don't judge the one side's different because most people are not symmetrical on both sides. So there we have the first half of equanimity. Second half, we're gonna do one of our most obvious, I guess you could say, back bends. That's not in our back bending portion of the sequence. That's dancer pose. So we'll do dancer right. Press into left foot, into your left foot, four corners, soften the knee. Always really want to protect the joints here by softening them as much as possible. You're going to grab the inner part of your right foot with your right hand. And then reach your arm out and up. Drop your right hip to meet your left hip. Press into your right heel. And then switch sides. Dancer on the left. And if you fall out, just get back in it. Another option, I'm going to be off camera for a second. Another option is to get a strap. It's just a yoga strap, you can buy it online, or you can just use a belt. Something super easy to use at home. And this is particularly helpful in a few poses, but dancer is one of them. So, I'll show you, loosen it a little bit. Actually, it's not cooperating. So, I'll show, actually, this is a good example because this is how you would do it with the belt. Just put your foot around there, grab both ends, and you can use that as your assist in dancer pose. And the last pose in equanimity is tree pose. It's actually probably one of the most Instagrammable yoga poses. I feel like a lot of people know tree if they know nothing else about yoga. And that's probably because it allows for a lot of expression. So tree pose, we'll start on the right side. Once again, this has to do with your flexibility of your hips. So if you have really flexible hips, you'll be able to get your foot up to your thigh. Then you can use your hand to grab you. If you don't, today I'm feeling like a non-flexible day, and that's fine. Then you just put it on your shin. You can even, starting off and you're having some balance issues and you keep falling out, maybe just try doing like a kickstand with your foot partially on the floor. Totally up to you. I just encourage you to keep trying new things because what you did one day may be different than what you can do the next day. So I want to do it on the shin here today. And then you just want to be careful not to put your foot, because you're going to be pressing into your heel. We flex our feet in almost every pose. There's only one pose that I can think of we don't, which we'll talk about in a couple weeks. But you want to press into your heel. So you don't want to press into your heel if your heel is on your knee. So if you're on your knee, come down or go up. Or come off the knee. And then press your heel into your shin. Into your calf, I guess, out of your leg. Bring your knee out. And you can start at hands at heart center and then express out from here. You can put your arms up, look straight ahead, and look up and close your eyes. Put your arms behind you. This is why trees allows for a lot of expression. And then we're going to switch sides. The tree, I'll go this way. Tree on the left. And if you fall out, like there, I was playing a little bit by looking up. I shift my gaze, I got a little off balance. You just go back into it. Try a different arm variation. That is tree on the left. And I am just about on time, which is amazing. So now we're gonna let you, we went through the first 4 parts of the Journey into Power sequence. The next other classes will continue like this. We'll do 3 portions next week and 4 the following week. So we cover the entire Journey into Power sequence. But now we're gonna just go through a quick flow to put what we learned today all together. So we're gonna start off in child's pose. Put in your ujjayi breath and keep the ujjayi breath throughout your practice. Downward facing dog. And here in the first down dog, if you want to take a little movement, We've already warmed up quite a bit, but leave that up to you. Spread the fingers wide, spread the toes wide. And press down into your hands and feet to lift your tailbone up towards the ceiling. Ragdoll, bring your feet to your hands. Of course, the air conditioner just went on, so I have to talk louder now. Oh, it goes like that sometimes. And just soften here. And this is where you could really set your drishti for your forward folds. Look at one spot towards the back of your mat, maybe towards your thighs. Bring your feet together, your big toe mounds to touch. Rise up, extended mountain. Hands to heart center. You have soft gaze on your middle fingers here. And we're going to inhale together for 3 ohms. Breathe in. Breathe in, extended mountain. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, chaturanga, high to low plank. Breathe in, upward facing dog. Breathe out, downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. And 2 more breaths like that. Once again, your gaze on one spot towards the back of your mat. One more, inhale. Exhale out completely. Bring your feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold over. Press down in your feet to lift up, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga, high to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press the thoracic spine forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Turn your inner ankles back without actually moving your feet, like just do an internal rotation from your inner ankles back. Hug your outer shins in. Really turn on your leg muscles here. Create tapas, that's fire, one of the other pillars of Baptiste yoga. One more, inhale. Exhale it out. Jump forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over. Thunderbolt or chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right foot forward, warrior one, step it forward. Breathe in, come up. Breathe out to go down, chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Flow on the other side, step the left foot forward. Warrior one. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. If you feel your ujjayi breath getting a little hurried, take this time to recenter yourself, reel it in so it serves you. Ujjayi breath actually means victorious breath. So it's here to bring you on through your practice as a tool. Empty out completely, look forward, get your feet to your hands. Halfway lift, fold over, thunderbolt, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, warrior one. Chaturanga. Up dog. Down dog. Left side, warrior one. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, open up your hips. Inhale, flip your dog. High plank. Side plank, right side. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Other side, lift your left leg. Open up, stay here. Or flip over, flip dog. Yeah, just notice how maybe how different or how much the same. It could be that too. This flip dog is from the first one that you did during the tutorial section of this class today. Yeah, maybe go someplace different because of that. Lift your toes. Spread them wide. Really press into your feet to lift your chest. High plank. Side plank. Left side. Left hand down. Right hand up. And express out from here. Breathe in. Breathe out, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side, crescent lunge. Inhale, bring the crown of your head towards the ceiling, lengthen your spine. Exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Breathe in. Breathe out completely. And then twist to the right. Once again, choose your expression here. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, bring your front knee over your front ankle even more. Breathe in. Breathe out, extended side angle. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left side, crescent lunge. Left foot forward. Hands to heart center. Twist to the left. Inhale, warrior two. Soften in your front knee. Breathe in, lengthen your spine, bring the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Breathe out, extended side angle. One more full breath, inhale. Exhale, Chaturanga. And Chaturanga you can take from your knees as well. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bring your feet to your hands. Jump or step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, thunderbolt. Exhale, sit lower. Inhale, hands to heart center. Exhale completely. And then twist to the right. Thunderbolt prayer twist. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale out. One more, inhale. Exhale out completely. And then twist to the left. Inhale. Exhale, fold over. Fingers to toes, forward fold. Palms to toes, forward fold. Slide your hands right under. Crow pose or crow prep. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Jump forward. Halfway lift. Fold over. Rise up, extended mountain. From here, eagle pose, right side. Sit the booty low, elbows up. Without sitting up, switch sides. So stay in chair pose, just switch sides. Tadasana, mountain pose, hands to your side. Standing leg raise on the right. Grab your right knee or your right big toe. Breathe in, lengthen. Breathe out. Inhale, expand by opening up. The right, looking to the left. Back to center. Airplane pose. Set your gaze slightly in front of you, on the ground. Half moon. Breathe in. Breathe out, fold. Inhale, come up, Tadasana. Standing leg raise on the left side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale, stay. Back to center. Airplane pose, left side. Add some water behind your right knee. Soften the joint. From here, go into half moon. Flex your raised foot. Breathe in. Breathe out, fold. Dancer on the right side. Come up, right into dancer. Inhale, switch sides. Tree pose, right side. Tree pose, left side. Breathe in, rise up. Breathe out, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga. Breathe in, up dog. Breathe out, down dog. Inhale. Open your mouth, exhale it out. Jump your feet through, come on your back. Breathe in. Once again, open your mouth, let it go. Shavasana, final rest or corpse pose. And sometimes the easiest one, yet the hardest one, just relax. Bring your hands and feet to a comfortable position. You can keep your eyes open or closed. If you have your eyes open, just soften your gaze and allow your body to completely relax. With your eyes closed or your gaze soft, slowly roll over to your right side in the fetal position. Knees up towards your chest. Once again, with the eyes closed or a soft gaze, come up to a seat facing your camera. Bring your hands to your heart center. And we conclude the practice the way we began it with 3 ohms. Breathe in. Bring your thumb knuckles up to your forehead center. We call it the third eye center. It's your internal drishti, your internal gaze, the way of looking inward. The light in me sees the light in you, and this is exactly what this phrase means. It means I honor you, I acknowledge you for showing up. And we bow together and say, Namaste. Thank you for everyone for joining me today, and we'll be having the second part of the series next Saturday, and then which is the 27th, and then the third part of the series on Wednesday, the 1st of July at 6:30 p.m. If anybody has any questions, I'll stay on for questions. If not, have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your day.